Just announced, Princess Leonor and Prince Christian stun wedding outfit reveal bride and groom. Princess Leonor and Prince Christian's wedding outfits have been revealed. And in that instant, history shifted. What was thought to be ordinary became extraordinary. What was expected became unforgettable. It began with Leonor, the future Queen of Spain, stepping into the spotlight not with words but with presence. Her gown, crafted in ivory silk from Valencia, shimmered under the light. But it wasn't the material that stunned, it was the meaning. Every thread whispered of Spain, her heritage, her identity. Along the hem, embroidered roses delicately intertwined with Denmark's motifs. A fusion of two worlds. A statement of unity before the vows were even spoken. The veil flowed endlessly, cathedral length, its lace alive with stories. The design carried the symbols of Castile and Leon, the ancient roots of her dynasty. Yet closer to her heart lay something deeply personal. The veil was adapted from one worn by her mother, Queen Letizia. A hidden embrace from mother to daughter. A gift of love woven into fabric. But her jewelry told another story. On her hand, the sapphire engagement ring that captured the world's imagination. In her ears, earrings from her grandmother, Queen Sophia. Leonor stood adorned not just in jewels, but in the weight of her lineage. She was not a girl in a dress. She was a future queen carrying centuries of history. And then, Christian appeared. Tall, composed, and dignified, his attire was a revelation. The prince wore a ceremonial uniform in deep navy, tailored with precision, glowing with insignias of Denmark's royal past. Across his chest lay a sash of crimson, Spain's royal red, a declaration that this marriage was not merely personal, it was continental. His cufflinks bore entwined initials, a quiet message of unity between their houses. Together, they stood, two young royals, transformed into symbols of nations. The reaction was instant. In Spain, pride swept the streets. Citizens described Leonor's gown as a national treasure, proof that their princess embraced her culture while opening her arms to Denmark. In Denmark, admiration flowed. Christian's uniform, his subtle homage to Spain, reassured his people that this union was a partnership, not a surrender. Across Europe, comparisons flared: Diana's voluminous silk, Kate Middleton's timeless lace, Mary of Denmark's elegant gown. Yet Leonor and Christian's choices stood apart. Simple, meaningful, historic. Behind the beauty, though, lay the months of careful preparation. Designers whispered of late-night meetings, countless sketches, heated debates. Leonor reportedly rejected gowns that leaned toward extravagance. She insisted on dignity, on history, on authenticity. Christian, equally involved, requested his uniform reflect both duty and devotion. This was not vanity. This was responsibility in fabric and thread. Yet tension lingered. Some Spanish insiders feared the Danish motifs on Leonor's gown diluted her Spanish identity. Others in Denmark whispered that Christian's embrace of Spanish red risked overshadowing Danish tradition. But perhaps that was the brilliance. These choices weren't about dominance. They were about harmony, about weaving two stories into one tapestry. Family emotions ran deep. Felipe VI, King of Spain, watched his daughter in silence. Those near him reported his eyes misted, pride and weight mixing in his heart. Queen Letizia, moved beyond protocol, clutched her hands as Leonor appeared in the gown they had envisioned together. Queen Margrethe of Denmark, seasoned and wise, smiled as Christian stood tall, her grandson, her heir, her pride. For the people, this was more than fashion. It was reassurance. Monarchies, often criticized as outdated, suddenly seemed alive, relevant, human. The bride and groom did not dress for themselves, they dressed for their nations. And the world noticed. Fashion houses across Europe immediately declared Leonor's gown iconic, predicting it would inspire generations of brides to embrace heritage. Christian's attire was praised as a model for modern grooms, traditional yet intimate, formal yet deeply personal. But what does it mean beyond the ceremony? Analysts suggest these outfits are more than aesthetics. They are statements. Leonor's gown proclaimed Spain's artistry and pride, her veil declared continuity, her jewelry anchored her to legacy. Christian's uniform announced duty, partnership, and devotion to both nations. Together, they reminded Europe that monarchies still have power, not just in politics but in symbolism. And then came the silence. After the reveal, the two stood together, eyes locked. The moment was captured in countless photographs, Leonor radiant, Christian resolute. It was not just the image of a bride and groom. It was the image of the future. This reveal, brief yet monumental, will echo through time. Just as Diana's gown told a story of fairy tale dreams, just as Kate spoke of timeless grace, just as Mary's whispered of destiny, Leonor and Christian's outfits spoke of unity. Not just love, but nations entwined. The palace halls may forget the applause. The cameras may dim, but the image will endure. Leonor's silk and lace, Christian's navy and crimson. A dress and a suit that stunned the world, not through excess, but through meaning. And as history turns its page, this reveal will be remembered not as fashion, but as a declaration. A declaration of love. A declaration of legacy. A declaration that Spain and Denmark, through two young hearts, now walk one path. Princess Leonor and Prince Christian did not just reveal their outfits. They revealed a story, a promise, a destiny, and the world will never forget it.